Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach, and today we're looking at ECOMI, OMI price and VeVe stuff as per usual. Now, we're looking at a price of 0.002462, and before we look at all this, I want to say a huge thank you for all the support recently. I've honestly just been absolutely blown back by or blown away maybe by the support, so thank you so much. Anyway, we're on a low of 0.002308 and a high of 0.002906. Now, very kindly, Simon Frederick sent over myself, Vel, and Stevie. When we find this kind of exchange between HoloLens and ECOMI 2 years ago, we can only believe in a possible future partnership between the two. What do you think about this? Both of us and Stevie as well. And of course, as we can see right here, Microsoft HoloLens, to be very clear by the way, everything that's on my recommended or whatever, this is not tailored to me at all. I'm not signed in. Anyway, thanks for sharing. This was in 2019. You are most welcome. So of course we've seen this. Of course we see Cavell here. This is very interesting for sure. I have to dig this into some more. Now, this is really awesome. And of course, this is the stuff that I personally is more of my territory because, like I say, you know, I can look at a graph as much as I want, but realistically, I am not a crypto person. I am a business person who is looking at crypto and has become more interested over the past couple of weeks. Having said that, I want to have a look at HoloLens because when we made a video a couple days ago talking about the VeVeverse and the fact that VeVe is essentially in the race for winning in AR culture, right? AR lifestyle. Just realized my camera, hold up. That's better. Now you can see my hat. So yeah, I want to have a look at HoloLens stuff because HoloLens is very close to what we've seen with also Google Glass, I believe, but that was a long time ago. And I want to have a look through this. I want to do some research. So without further ado, let's have a look at some HoloLens 2 AR headset. But actually, before we have a look at this, and we are going to have a look at this, I also want to have a look at some of the Crypto Crayon stuff that has been posting recently. VeVe Iron Man vs Terminator. Now, the reason why it's important is because there's a lot of stuff that really is AR that ties in with HoloLens, and of course we also have Pokemon Go stuff here. But yeah, that's fine. All right, let's jump into it. So right here, of course, we have Iron Man, sort of just in the backyard. I'm going to turn on the music because it's not clearly important, but we can of course see here Iron Man, and Iron Man, of course, honestly, it would be very surprising if we didn't see Iron Man in the VeVeverse, as we've seen, of course, Batman, Harley Quinn, the DC cover girls, very exciting stuff. And yeah, like I say, we obviously have Iron Man sort of looking around here. And in fact, actually, if we skip through, we have 2 Iron Man's heads here. Obviously, I think it'll be awesome when we actually are able to see, like, yeah, it's a bit weird. Now 3 Iron Man heads. It'll be interesting when we are able to actually see like a full Iron Man, I guess. But of course, this is fan made, so this is not reality. And then, of course, we have Terminator. That's kind of creepy. Iron Man vs Terminator. That's kind of cool. So let's go to the Pokemon Go. And before we go any further, of course, make sure to subscribe to Crypto Crowns. I post a lot of awesome stuff, and I've really enjoyed watching what they've been posting. So what we're watching here.
It's like I'm actually here, John.
Well,
so this actually looks kind of like the Wii stuff, like Nintendo Wii stuff.
this is amazing.
And this is by Niantic. So it's proof of concept, as we can see down here. Not for consumer use, Niantic research.
And it's what I'm so excited about. Enabling friends to play and explore the world together, no matter where they are. I'm gonna have a look around.
I'm excited to join you in this adventure.
Okay, so we have Pokemon Go
Pokemon
here.
around here. Let's take a walk. Whether you're exploring a brand new park or just walking through a familiar neighborhood, augmented reality can make the real world a little more magical.
This is so cool.
We imagine a real world filled with adventures, helpful information, and of course, a lot of friends.
I swear, if the music here is copyrighted, I'm gonna go nuts. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Hey, Pikachu. Here you go. AR that's grounded in the real world, aware of us and the environment, is an incredibly powerful starting point, and it becomes even more powerful when we can share it. Someone I know is here now.
That's good filmmaking. Watching Pikachu follow. Oh, this is dope.
Monica, this usually doesn't end well for me, but I'm game.
What's important is to never give up.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's cool. And of course, it's going to cut off before we can actually watch them fight it out. That actually reminds me of something that we looked at recently as well, where there was someone who had like, let's see if we can find it real quick. If we can't find it fast, though, I'm going to move off it very quickly. By the way, follow me on Zaki Zoo. Obviously, that's where I post about ECOMI and stuff. But if we have a look, let's type in VeVe simulated, maybe, or simulation, maybe. See what happens there. I think it was Mark VeVe Wiki guy. This is annoying. Mark VeVe Wiki guy who actually showed us what it could look like if we can find it. Hold up. Let's see if we can scroll through. There's a lot of awesome AR stuff as we can see here. Just so much stuff. Right, let's type in Mark VeVe Wiki. Damn it. There we go. All right, let's go through his... I'm sorry, Mark. We're going to... Oh, my... This is so annoying. VeVe Wiki, at VeVe Wiki. And then let's type in... AR. Let's see what happens. Anything cool? Nope. Okay, let's type in touch, because I know that... Here we go. Okay, the future of VeVe and ECOMI touching holograms, incredible real-time interaction and immersion demo with holograms via Microsoft HoloLens 2. And of course, here we have a hand, or obviously a person who is essentially moving around and controlling where these cubes go. And in order for you to sort of feel like when you're actually holding the cube, obviously there's no sensation of touch. So like they say, it produces a sound and a bright light when taken. So I wonder if we can actually hear it. Or is it without audio? I think it's without audio. So essentially, I would imagine it'll have some sort of like noise, sound, whatever. And then, yeah, like I say, it'll sort of flash when you touch it. So that's really cool. Having said that, let's take a look at the actual demo that Upload VR posted. I think this was about Microsoft. Yeah, it is, because we have Julia Schwartz here from Microsoft. So let's take a listen. When was this posted? Just to be very clear, this was posted 2 years ago. So actually, this was posted... Is this the same thing? It's literally the same thing. That is so cool. So we're going to literally have a look at what Salman has sent over here. Thank you again, Salman, for the tag. And of course, if you find anything that you want to share with me, or of course Gavel or Stevie or anything, but just, yeah, for me specifically, speaking for myself, definitely at me with things that you find.
When we set out to build HoloLens 2, we wanted to create something that you didn't need to learn how to use. You should just know it.
That's already important, right? So what she says here is something you don't need to have to learn to use, you just know it, right? And again, this is very important with the whole VeVeverse, is that consumers are going to have to be able to just enjoy it and understand what they're doing without being a crypto expert, or even without being a tech expert. Whoops.
All this instinctual interaction. Let me show you. Now, as Alex mentioned, the HoloLens 2 is very comfortable. It fits just like a hat. And the only thing that's even more effortless is how I'm automatically signed in. With Windows Hello and iOS authentication, the HoloLens 2 is actually signing me in.
So already
I put on my device.
We see the Hello Julia, right? So that obviously that's video edited in, but obviously that's what Julia can see.
Windows Hello and iOS authentication, the HoloLens 2 is actually signing me in as I put on my device. Now, not only does the HoloLens 2 recognize me, it also recognizes my hands. Look at this. Fully articulated hand tracking. And as I move my hands around, the HoloLens 2 is actually calibrating to my unique hand size. And of course,
I do wonder if, because she's presenting this to a crowd in real life, I do wonder if there's like a video maybe above her that's showing the graphics in real time.
Not only does the HoloLens 2 recognize me and my hands, it also recognizes the world. Welcome to my mixed reality home. This is the place where I have all the apps and content that I use every day.
Oh, wow.
Let's check some of them out. Now, I've seen many people put on HoloLens for the first time, and the first thing people do when they put on the device is they reach out their hands and try and touch the hologram. And now, you can. Look at the way that the hologram is responding to my hand, almost inviting me to touch
That's
it.
crazy.
And in fact, I can just grab this corner to resize it. Or I can rotate it. Or move it. That's right. We are touching holograms. This is an app I've got called Spatial. Let me just put it right there. I've got another app here called Vuforia.
This is literally what people wanted from when we were watching Star Trek back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, this is the sci-fi stuff.
It's a little big, so let me just use two.
But it's not sci-fi, it's sci, I guess.
Make it smaller. And then rotate it so you can see. There we go. And then let me put it down here in your Spatial, maybe make it a bit smaller. Yeah, that's nice. All right, now let's switch gears and talk about a different kind of application. I've got a browser over there, but it's kind of far away and I don't really want to walk over there. So let me just call it over with my voice. Follow me.
Okay.
This is a browser that's running Microsoft Teams, which is a tool that we use back home to collaborate. Let me see what the team's been working on. Okay.
So this means that say you're in your house, right? And obviously this isn't just limited to VeVe, this is HoloLens specifically, but I think a lot of the technology that we're seeing in HoloLens can definitely work with VeVe at some point in the future. Not anytime soon, to be very clear. It is making me think that that means that, you know, anyone wants to say watch the TV or watch YouTube or whatever, say you're in bed or whatever, you can literally just say, you know, TV screen, come towards me. People ain't going to have to do anything. I mean, is that cool or is that bad? I don't know. You let me know what your thoughts are on that.
It's for me in the playground app. I just have to say,
like for me, I'm at home a lot, so at least, you know, when I go into the kitchen, I had to come back into the office to make videos and like watch stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, I do have my phone, but yeah.
Words show surprise. All right. So let me just open up that start menu here, and then place the app, and then launch it. So now we're actually exiting my mixed reality home and going into an immersive experience. But notice that that browser that I had actually followed me in. Now this can actually be really useful when you have things like emails or PDFs that you need to reference while you're doing your work. I don't really want it following me around though while I'm showing you all this cool stuff, so let me just put it over here and then we'll get back to it later. Welcome to the playground.
Okay.
We spent years exploring and refining.
Now remember that in VeVe, we're actually going to be able to own our own land. So already it starts to kind of make me think about how is that going to work?
Interactions for HoloLens 2. And the playground is just a tiny sampling of the many prototypes that we built, tested, and learned from.
I also wonder how good are they going to be able to make this look, you know, because we know, I mean, this was back in 2019, and I know that Trevor's standards, obviously Trevor being ECOMI's lead content producer, I know his standards for content is really beautiful, essentially, as far as like, you know, yeah, it's just very beautiful. And I think over time, it's only going to get more and more good, essentially, better, whatever the word is. So I do think that this could even look better in VeVe.
And look for the things that stood out. So for example, here I've got 3 sliders. Each of them is controlling this wind farm simulation, but each in a different way, using a different interaction technique. One of the things we tried is this touch slider here. So here I can just stick my finger in the slider and have it go to a particular value to control that wind speed there. It felt okay. We also tried this push slider. So this guy can kind of nudge from side to side, kind of like an abacus, which was interesting. Now, the interaction... So
you can see how many controls there are right now just on this thing alone.
Really took home the cake, though, was this pinch slider. The way that works is you just pinch it and move it wherever you want. And what we found was that people really like that tactile sensation of their fingers touching as they grabbed and then released. And across the board, for all interactions, the audio and visual feedback as you grab, move, and then release were all really critical for making this experience feel connected. Oh, this is just so satisfying for you all to try this out. All right, now let's move on to a different kind of control, buttons. How do you press buttons on HoloLens 2? Well, you just reach out and press them. Now, one interesting thing that we found about buttons was that the size of the buttons actually impacted the way that people interacted with them. So for example, for the smaller one, most people would use 1 or maybe 2 fingers, but for the larger one, pretty much everyone used their entire hand. And this is kind of interesting when you think about it because... Right,
what this is actually making me think about right now is if we go over to this, just type in, let's keep this actually open because this was helpful. I don't want to lose it right now. Let's go to, I know, just literally VeVe AR, right? I'm sure we'll see some helpful videos here, right? So if we, where can we find what I'm looking for? That's good to see. This on TikTok is good to see. Right, hopefully we can find it. Right, okay, here we are, perfect. So someone here, Aaron right here, posted this yesterday, and they're in their vault, right? Now, already, you can see how this could work with HoloLens, right? Where you can see the what are they called? The joysticks, I guess, essentially can be, you know, customized, optimized, etc. And I think this will definitely be something that, you know, these are the things that I think ECOMI really needs to build on, is trying to make this stuff a really good experience. You know, I can already see us being in AR. Obviously, right, what we're seeing here, I suppose, is more I wouldn't say it's AR necessarily because it's kind of all virtual. It's not augmented reality as such. It's close to it, but not really, because again, you're controlling something inside the thingy. But once wearables are a thing, I think it'll definitely be interesting to see how these joysticks can be used for a better experience. So anyway, let's continue with the AR thingy, with the HoloLens thing.
Don't really weigh anything. They're just digital things. But despite that, people would treat them like real things, almost as if the bigger one had more weight. I just love
Am I
the
at
way these move
focus?
and the sounds they play when I press them. It's great. All right. How about something that uses all 10 fingers? Well, to test that out, we built a piano. So here I can just play a chord, or I can play the keys one at a time. All right. So where's that surprise?
Okay, so that right there is a different, something different, right? Because what we're seeing there is her being able to play with the piano, right? And I'm wondering, how can that work with NFTs? What artists are going to want to work with that? And it's just making me think, for example, what concerts we could see within VeVe. You know, say an artist wants to hold a concert in VeVe. And this sounds like, what? Why would an artist hold a concert in VeVe? Now, if you haven't seen it already, and I've brought it up a few times, but why not? Because at the end of the day, it helps me explain what I'm talking about. Like I say, let's have a look at Marshmallow's concert, right? I would show Travis Scott's, but honestly, I think Marshmallow's works better here. Hopefully, we can find one that doesn't have 30,000 ads, because I know this one will likely have those ads. Yeah, okay, we're gonna push through it. We're gonna push through it. We're gonna push through it, ladies and gents, because I do support the ad economy. What can I say? I do support the ad economy. Okay, here we go. Bang. I mean, heck, you're probably watching ads on my videos now too. Actually, I don't have the rights to this, do I? So anyway, what we're seeing right here is a lot of different Fortnite characters. When I say a lot, that doesn't really give it justice. Millions, I think tens of millions of Fortnite players were at this event, where obviously there were many thousands of instances of it happening, essentially, being a live event. Now, what happens when we have AR and we can literally see Marshmallow or whoever essentially wants to work with VeVe, which honestly I wouldn't be surprised if Marshmallow wants to do that eventually, because if he was forward thinking enough to get on Fortnite, he was the first ever artist to do this. Then I can definitely see them doing something with VeVe at some point once it becomes more mainstream. But like just seeing concerts in VeVe, like imagine how many burns that would go towards. That would be absolutely ridiculous. So I think that would be huge. Obviously, you could have NFTs that literally gives you access towards the concert, and of course that will go for resale value, etc. And of course, you know, people like Marshmallow would love that, because essentially, you know, they can put in the smart contracts, which I think as well, what's it called? Immutable, I think, does allow that on Ethereum. Then we could see smart contracts where Marshmallow sells each ticket for, say, $100, and then just makes many thousands back on each ticket with resale value. So that would be crazy. And I literally just got all that from playing a piano. Like,
Pad for me. Oh, that's right. I had to say those words. Show surprise. Ooh, look at that hummingbird.
How awesome is that?
I wonder if it will fly to my hand. Yeah. Oh, wow. This is beautiful. I just love the way that it's following my hand around. I've got to tell the team, they've done a great job. And in fact, I don't even need to use my hands to do this, because I can use my eyes and my voice. That's right. HoloLens 2 has eye tracking. So I can just look over to this browser here and look at the bottom of the screen to scroll it, and then send my message. Start dictation. The hummingbird looks great! Exclamation mark. Send.
Gary V's spoken a lot about this, actually, about how a lot of people, and I've been part of the group that he's speaking about, I guess, where I'm like, really, is voice going to be a thing? But at the same time, I got to agree with him, because accessibility is what wins. You know, convenience mainly is what wins. You know, if you're by yourself even, and you can just say something and it basically voice commands, people are going to way prefer that over typing. I'm almost certain. Like, again, not when you're with people in a group, or even once you're in a group, I think it'll become such a social standard that people will just do it anyway. But that will be crazy.
Is what we mean by instinctual interaction. By combining our hands, our eyes, and our voice, HoloLens 2 works in a more human way.
And there comes the ad. Adidas this time. Impossible is nothing. That is true. Oh, and again. From Colgate this time. I smile. Okay. No more ads, right?
Today, companies
Oh,
tackle
okay.
the world's biggest
Someone
problems
new.
are increasingly spread across the world, and the HoloLens lets us work together as if we were standing next to each other, face to face. To show you how that works, let me just flip into spatial here with my HoloLens 2 and materialize the room. Hi, Jenna.
Hi, Anand. Hey, everyone. It's great to be here on stage holographically.
It's great to have you here, Jenna. Can you tell everybody a little bit about what you're seeing?
Sure. I can see your lifelike avatar, which we generate in seconds from a 2D photo, and we can walk around the stage with spatial audio and use this whole space around us.
Okay, so actually, this is something that Vel was speaking about in his like sort of VeVe roadmap video, right? Where you'll have avatars. Can we not see what's on the screen right now? And this is the thing, like in VeVeverse, most likely thing is that, you know, your clothes, stuff like that is going to be a social currency, right? Which means that people are going to want to buy clothes within VeVe most likely, and they'll have avatars. And of course, that itself will just go crazy with OMI boons most likely as people buy more and more stuff. And this is just like, this just shows what we're talking about. Like, we just see avatars, like people just being able to create their own people within the VeVeverse. You don't even have to look like you, I'd imagine. And of course, we are far away from this. Well, when I say far away, I would imagine, you know, a number of years. But we'll see.
If we're all here together in the same room.
Cool. Now, to show you how companies are using spatial to transform the way they work, let's invite Sven Gurgitz, CTO of the iconic toy brand Mattel, onto the stage.
Hey guys.
Oh, wait,
how
what?
awesome is
Excuse me?
this?
Who's this?
How companies are using spatial to transform the way they work, let's invite Sven Gurgitz, CTO of the iconic toy brand Mattel, onto.
Huh? Mattel? Mattel? Hold up. Mattel rings a bell. Mattel rings a bell. I'm pretty sure... Is Mattel not working with VeVe? Or did I get that wrong? Mattel... I'll have to look at that, but I'm almost certain that we've looked at Mattel brands. Let's have a look real quick. I want to see if there are any brands that we've seen from VeVe on Mattel. Okay. Right here. Didn't even take long. Jurassic World. Jurassic World is literally on, or it's a confirmed license with VeVe. So, what I'm getting at here, to be very clear, is not to say that Mattel's working with VeVe because they did a thing with HoloLens, but these people talk. You know, these industry heads talk, and at the end of the day, we know that David is incredibly connected. Al Khan's incredibly connected. You know, they go to these events. You know, they're literally like, you know, they're literally talking with these different companies back in 2019. I think that something big is happening here.
The stage.
Hey guys, how awesome is this? So at Mattel, we're undergoing a massive digital transformation. It's touching all aspects of our business. This includes the way that we're using technology to design and to develop our products.
Okay.
Our classic brands like Barbie and Hot Wheels and Fisher-Price, they have diverse teams of designers, engineers, marketers, and manufacturers that are spread all over the world. They can now come together in a spatial project room, reducing the need to travel as much to get everybody on the same page. When we're developing toys like this Rescue Hero Fires truck here,
we need to go with this. Mattel, right? The fact is they've literally ended up on a stage with HoloLens back in 2019, showing how important and how they're investing in Mattel being in the digital space, in the AR space. We already know Jurassic World is in VeVe, right? They've got the license. Does this not all add up to you?
we're able to pin up dynamic content on virtual walls, like this PowerPoint, for instance, or videos, or even concept art. Teams can now rapidly exchange ideas and create a shared understanding.
Oh. What happened?
Clearance here.
Oh yeah, I can see that's going to be a problem. So I can pull out my spatial phone app and write a quick note. and then just hit send. And it becomes a digital sticky note, which I can just grab and stick right onto the fire truck so
There we
we
go.
can have engineering revise this later.
We can also use spatial much earlier in our design process to ideate and generate inspiration. Okay, guys, let's come up with some ideas for a line of aquatic toys.
Yeah, how about sea turtles?
Oh, that's really cool. Let's try sharks.
That's cool. How about jellyfish?
So all we have to do is say the words, and they're instantly visualized right before our eyes. You can even click into one of these bundles, and they
So does that
expand-
mean that this could be a thing where we basically ask to see our Batman figure or our Harley Quinn or upcoming licenses, obviously once they come out, and they'll just be there?
full-blown internet search, complete with 3D models, images, and web
Because
pages.
bear in mind that the app is, I mean, we don't even have a web app yet. You know, like we are so early on in this. And Reese has spoken about how keen he is with wearables.
Jenna, why don't we click into just the images here so we can get some good inspiration for this new aquatic line?
Sure. Every object you see in spatial is physical and tactile. So you can scroll through or pick up images you like and toss them up on the wall with physics.
And we don't have to just stick with digital content. I can actually pull up these sketches I did on my phone last night using that same spatial app. I just pull up those photos and hit send, and they're instantly transformed into this digital environment.
Nice drawings. It's so easy to fill up your room with ideas. So we built this tool to help.
Let's not forget that this guy isn't even in the room. Like that's how it's just crazy.
You quickly organize all these ideas. So let me
Because
see
he's not in the room yet, he is in the room. And how many of, like, I can see gatherings, like many gatherings, especially with obviously the stuff that's happened with COVID and stuff. Like, this is a game changer.
select all of these. And let's make it grid. This goes to the wall.
Now, this entire room we've created is a persistent digital object that anyone can access or contribute to at any time, whether they're using an AR or VR headset or even a PC or mobile phone.
So that's right. Now we can have virtually rich visual rooms that we can keep up for the life of the product. That means no more tearing down war rooms all the time. So Spatial and HoloLens are helping us drive improvements in our digital design and development process, changing the way we create new toys. By bringing people together from all over the world to collaborate in the same virtual room, we're overcoming a natural barrier to our collective success. That's people's desire for direct face-to-face interaction.
Let's see what the comments are. Actually, right there, that's people's desire for face-to-face interaction. That is huge. That's literally, that's what's called a third place. Let's really quickly bring that up. Third place description. Third place is, yeah, I mean, this works too, to be fair. Third place is build communities. Third places have a number of important community building attributes depending on their location, so and backgrounds can be leveled out in ways that are unfortunately rare these days for people feeling with. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on here. Maybe this isn't specifically what I'm looking for. Let's go for what defines the third place. In community building, the third place is a social surrounding separates from the two usual social environments of home, the first place, and the workplace, which is the second place. Example, the third place could be environments such as churches, cafes, clubs, public libraries, bookstores, and parks. Now, these are all essentially social gathering places, right? Why can't this be what, like the VeVe? Like, why not? You know what I mean? And this was very exciting to see what could come up very, I don't know when it's going to come up because, of course, we don't have any, time frames for wearables. We're still in the process of still, waiting for VeVe to, bring out the licenses. And I want to make this actually very clear is that what myself and oftentimes what Gavel speaks about too, we speak about stuff that's coming up later in the future, most likely. This is not stuff to pay your rent with. If you're investing in OMI because you think this is going to happen tomorrow, it's just so far from that. If you're investing in OMI because you believe in it just generally without needing to use it to pay your bills, then that's great. And bear in mind that obviously this right here is HoloLens. Likelihood is that VeVe will work with HoloLens or a manufacturer of the type. Of course, Microsoft aren't the only ones who are doing this. I'm sure there are many companies honestly that are trying to do this. I think Microsoft's probably ahead, but I'm honestly not sure. I wonder what people are saying. Can't wait to play Habit Hotel. So again, gamifying it. Cyberbullying is going to be a whole new level. Hopefully not. This demo is very cool, but there's something very Windows 95 launchy about it. Yeah, I see that as far as like it's, it doesn't feel natural. I think that's the main thing. But I think this is really, really interesting. Of course, ECOMI's price isn't going to go up from any of this anytime soon. But when VeVe fully unlocks its potential, I guess, that's when, well, I'm not even worried about this. But of course, I'm not a financial advisor. You do what you think is right. But I wanted to go over what I saw with AR and stuff because it does look really cool. I've been interested since I was younger than I am now, I should say. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. What are your thoughts on OMI right now? I'd love to hear your take. But with that being said, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.